So, evaluation of the Mischief Rule. Now, advantages are that you're looking for the gap in the law. It's a wider approach than the other two. So it's wider than the literal rule. It's wider than the golden rule. This therefore means that judges have more flexibility. They have more discretion. They have more power. And this is a good thing because think of all the disadvantages that we've talked about in the previous videos of the literal rule and of the golden rule. So the disadvantages of those two rules are probably going to be the advantages of the Mischief Rule. So have another look at those videos. It does ensure that justice is achieved because you're making sure the gap in the law is filled. So if there is a problem, judges can do more than just look at the words. They can do more than modify the law. They can be like, right, what was the mischief? What was the reason Parliament decided to make this law? So they're going beyond the meaning of the words. It still does respect sovereignty in a way because what's happening is they are actually looking at Parliament's reason for the act. They are looking at what did Parliament think about this? Why did Parliament put this law in place? So you could argue that they are applying the law. They're not going to be making errors because they are looking at the true reason for the remedy. The Law Commission, they're the people who write lots of reports about reforming the law. They actually prefer this rule to the other two, and they recommend that it's the only one used because they think it gives judges more discretion, more flexibility. They can develop the law. They can take into account society evolving, and it protects people. If nurses can perform abortions, it protects women from having to get backstreet abortions. However, there are some disadvantages. Are judges actually making law and not respecting Parliament's sovereignty? Remember, judges should only be applying and interpreting the law. Perhaps they're going a little bit too far beyond their role. You're giving judges a lot of power here. They are also deciding what the mischief is, and this can come down to a judge's opinion. What happens if a judge makes the wrong decision and says, well, I think this is why Parliament put this remedy in place. It might not be why Parliament did that. So judges deciding what the mischief is can be problematic. You could also comment on the fact that the Royal College of Nursing case was only a 3-2 decision. So this is quite a weak, what we call a weak authority. And it means that it could possibly change in the future. It's impossible to know what judges are going to think. It's impossible to predict when this rule is going to be used. We don't know what rule of interpretation is actually going to be used. And if something is unpredictable, you've got uncertainty in the law, that could possibly be unfair for the parties in a case. So the next point, the final point really you could say about a disadvantage is it's not as wide or modern as the purposive approach, which will be in the next video. You have to go through 4 stages before you can use this rule, and that in itself takes time. You've got more chance of error. And what you'll see is when we look at the purposive approach, you just simply go straight in thinking about what was Parliament's purpose, what was their intention. So the Mischief Rule does have disadvantages. I mean, you could argue 4 stages is good because there's clear guidance. It's a very clear rule. You go through all 4 stages. However, this can take a lot of time.